Hello everyone and welcome to sponsored game review number 3. In today's game we have Bokep versus WildHayate. This game was sponsored by WildHayate and I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so sorry if I completely butchered that. However, we're going to focus on this game from White's perspective. If you are interested in seeing how he was able to get his game reviewed guaranteed, then please check out the link below and go to www.patreon.com/Clossi and check out the rewards. For $2 a month, you can guarantee one game reviewed every month, and for $10 a month, you can guarantee a game review every single week, as well as a live lesson. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the game. For black, for Bokep, we have the Chinese opening versus a Ni-Rinsei. And white plays a common approach. Black plays a knight's move here instead of a corner enclosure, so this may be a little bit easy to invade or reduce later. Normally, you want to play at q5. However, now black plays up here, white plays here. Black comes back, and actually this is not the ideal shape. You probably want to play high here due to the fact that now the 3-3 is perfect, and white doesn't seem to play 3-3, so remember that if black gets a double wing with the start point, which means an extension on a third line on both sides, then the 3-3 is really good, because either this stone or this stone will be in a poor position. So let's block this way. And now we can see that this black stone is now getting 0 points of territory due to the fact that it's an open skirt. So this black stone doesn't get a territory. Now it's also not on the 4th line, so it's not really developing either. It does do a little bit, but it's not an ideal position. It would be much better on the 4th line. Or actually not even here. In addition to that, the shoulder hit makes it very easy to reduce the right side. So you can see one of these stones will be out of place. Normally, you would want this stone on the 4th line. So if it's on the 4th line, white can block this way. And I may have said that backwards. So in this one you can easily shoulder hit it. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's not this stone, it's this stone. It's the wall's extending to a 3rd line, and you want to develop with a 4th line. So anyway, so the thickness faces 3rd line stone. Your shoulder hit reduces it very easily. So here, thickness faces a 4th line stone. The shoulder hit does not reduce it very easily because that's 4th line territory. So you can see it's a little bit better for black. However, personally, I prefer not getting a double wing with a start point in general. I can't say this is completely bad. I just say it's normally my recommended strategy is to get in a corner enclosure if I already have an extension. The reason for that is because I feel like even with a high move, the invasion is still a little bit good for white, but that's my personal preference. However, if both stones are low, then immediately 3-3, and it's almost always good for white. So you can see that black probably should either play 4th line to develop or just do a corner enclosure. And even for white pincers, you can still jump out. You're still okay. So white, make sure that when black plays this formation, you get to that 3-3 here. Alright, so white chose to just reduce here on the line of the influence. Since this stone is on the 3rd line, you can actually go a little bit deeper here. Even if black tries to cap you, you have some forcing moves here and here. So let's see here. If you play here, black extends like so, then here, black comes up to stop you from getting out, and you can extend here. That's one possible continuation. Black may also go here, but now you get the Hane headed to either here or here. Let's see if it works in this case. I think it does, so even if black cuts here, you can Hane here and get some forcing moves. And then you could see that you can easily get out and reduce. Actually, maybe don't even Atari there. Maybe just jump out, maybe there's Aji later. It requires some reading, definitely some reading. However, it's quite possible if you are good at living in your opponent's area. But playing on the line of the Moyo isn't bad. I just wanted to show you it's another option. And it may be a little bit better because here black has a knight's move, which gets some 4th line, and then you're going to have to just come in this way and reduce this way. You could also consider an invasion here. Considering that this is quite wide, Maybe you don't have to reduce just yet, but maybe an invasion also works, and you can play something like this. Dump, 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 and then play like this. And this would be a possible continuation for white. So I might aim at something like this. Just another option for you to consider. So white chose to reduce. Now black does get fourth line territory, so I think it is a little good for black. Try not to push from behind. If you want to reduce, reduce from here. Maybe one push is okay. And then reduce here. However, if you're going to Tanuki, then why play an invade? Why did you play the reduction in the first place? Does this really help you with the invasion? I think you could invade here regardless. Maybe this helps a little bit. But you gave him fourth line territory in the exchange, and I think it was just better to play R14. So, okay, I expected black to play this way, because this is kind of super good for black. And then just jump here. And you can see the influence white is building is actually canceled out by this stone here. So it looks a little bit good for black. However, black chose to play this way. So now we play a Hane, and normally 3-3 is the next move. And then it can continue like this. And this seems fine to try and get into the right side. If black plays this way, this shape is normally not recommended for black due to the fact that the shape is really ugly. There's an empty triangle here, there's still some Hanes here, and with combination with this fourth line, it's still easy to reduce a little bit. And black lost his whole corner anyway. So normally this shape's not too good for black. So I think black should have played this move, because this, I don't really see a good follow-up for black. With this, however, now it's really good for black, because now black gets the corner and the side, and you're weak. So I think white messed up a little bit here, and it's Joseki choice. Keep pushing from behind. So black has a very, very large top right corner. And now white is actually not making a combination with these two stones. So these two stones are kind of useless right now. I think white could have considered a Sabaki shape, like something like maybe just a 1-point jump is good enough. I'm trying not to mess up the cut. Okay, so let's see, push. What about a jump now? I don't see a way to get cut immediately, so should be okay. Should be okay. I just don't like, normally you don't want to push from behind. Pushing from behind is usually not good. Alright, so now you are running away. However, notice that you ran away with a knight's move. A knight's move is cuttable. It's very cuttable, especially in this case. You're not attacking, you're not surrounding him to attack, you're defending, so defend. You can defend like this by putting pressure on the top group while also defending yourself with some good shape. But if you run with the knight's move, it is very cuttable. Looks like black is not going to cut. Okay. So black could actually just cut immediately. And you can see that white doesn't really have a super good shape here. White still has this move. So maybe not cut immediately, but definitely get some forcing moves. So what about threaten to cut and then surround? And you can see all the white stones are pointless and useless. And black's destroying the influence of the center while attacking white, so it should be okay. Point being, the knight's move is a very weak shape, and normally you should not play it. Don't understand this peep if you're not going to cut. I'm not sure what black's getting at. Never do this exchange if you're not going to fix here or jump. Due to the fact that if white plays in here, it's kind of cutting out this position, but this stone's fine because he can play 3-3, right? It looks like black is worried about it, so black wants to get some support, but black still owes a move to fix. But instead, black ignored. If black ignores like this, white has a very powerful attack here. I might even consider doing it immediately. However, white chose to go here. This is going to put pressure on your own quarter, so now you need to fix. This is not the fixing move. Normally you just go here. It's simple, easy, and lives. So this is the normal response. If black gets a stone on the D18 and C12, normally you just fix it, C18. This move looks like it's going to get cut. But it doesn't. Okay, well, yeah, I see nothing wrong with the cut. But this Nobi, I think, is better just to connect because you're not super strong in this area. So you want strong, solid shape. But your opponent doesn't fix or cut. So you can fix easily here. White's has bad liberties. You can cut here. White is in a not a very good shape, but black comes here. So there's still this cut. This cut still works. This cut is annoying. And white fixes something like that. Just make it tiger's mouth. Tiger's mouth fixes. Tiger's mouth just fixes. Right. Right. So we cut here, black extends, you go here. Yeah, I'm right. I'm right. The tiger's mouth fixes. This shape is a little funny looking, and it's still cuttable. There's this cut. If you extend here, there's a lot of Aji here. Okay, so maybe it kind of connects, but it's really funny looking. There's no eyes here, so it's not a very good shape. However, black still does not see the cut. I mean, I'm pretty sure if black goes here and just cuts, I think white's dead. No. White is not dead. Maybe white's dead. Anyway, it's definitely very powerful for black to cut there. And instead, black jumps. So you gotta watch weaknesses more, guys. There are so many weaknesses in this game. Why are you even playing there? Like, there's no reason to play here. I see no reason to play in this area. Cut. Oh, there's a cut here, huh? Think about it. But this is not important at all. It's not an eye. It's not cutting anything. It doesn't really fix anything. So there's no reason to play here. And again, no reason to play here. So white, you're going to have to get rid of these wasteful moves that don't do anything or don't have a purpose. Actually, this extension actually hurts your left side group, left side stones. So you're not gaining anything here. So what's the purpose of playing in this area? I see no purpose of playing this area. Why did black fix like that? Much better. Okay, free Atari and cut, and now black is in trouble, but not because white played good, it's because black played this instead of this. See here, there's no cut. It's actually... So there's a ladder that doesn't work. You can kill 2 stones. So there's still this move. That's cool. So that top side's alive. So all I have to do is worry about this. Beautiful shape. Then here. Seems okay to me. A lot more forcing moves. Or you can just jump here. This threatens the net, right? No, it doesn't. I don't have enough liberties. So knight's move. White can try cutting, but then you'll get the net. So white has to fix. Now do you have the net? So as long as white has this Atari, you don't have the net. So if white pushes at all, you have the net. However, this shape is pretty good. Pretty good. Then white, so this is the shape. Weird shape here. This whole area is kind of weird, huh? Yeah, this whole area is kind of weird. To be completely honest, even if white cuts here, I might not care and just ignore. It's 4 stones. I mean, 4 stones, how important are they at the end of the day? So let's see. Black has the top, black has the right, white has the bottom left, and that's it. So if black comes in the bottom left, white has nothing. So white, a little bit losing here. Alright, so white does cut him off. Black tries to make shape. White and fix here. You gotta work on your shape, white. You gotta work on your connection shapes. So shapes and seeing weakness. So this is really bad. That doesn't fix. I feel like there's a flaw in black's plan here. Nice. Yeah, that's the problem with this shape. I was thinking black could cut immediately, but white just might sacrifice 2 stones. So I think it's still okay for white. However, this is a nice response by black. Good reading by black. So why should there's no way white can fight this. I think give it up. Black gets a cutting stones, but you made a mistake. So this is the best you can do. However, think about this. You gave up these stones, but black gave up all of these. So I think it's still good for white. I still think this is really good for white. And these 4 stones are actually still cut off. Because he captured these, right? He never captured this one. So this is actually really good for white. This, however, is not. Yeah, but no one cares about those. What is black doing? I don't know what black's doing. Okay, keep black cut and surround stuff. Yep. Good. Does that work? What's wrong with just blocking? Why is blocking bad? First off, we need to look at this, right? So that's not good. So black gave white a chance here. Let's go here. Then block. Aha! Success. Yeah, read your weaknesses first, and then deal with stuff. Black did go here, but now it's not good. Don't extend. Wait, yeah, don't extend here. Play the Atari, because now when he tries to make an eye here, you can take this. However, if you extend and he plays here, which he does, he can make an eye here much easier. So it's better to just capture. Don't let him live on the side. He's dying. Don't let him get the eyes for free. Because it's still only 1 eye. He still has to run away, right? He's baseless. He doesn't have eyes. He needs to run away. So you can attack and surround the bottom left corner. This is not the way to play. Oh dear. Actually, this still isn't even alive, is it? No, don't connect there. That's pointless to connect there. You don't need to. Atari, and then here. And black is still not alive. Get the bottom left corner. This is your profit. Gain profit when you attack. Why on earth is black living with these? Wait, what? Why not here? Alright, so lots of issues. Okay, so this is actually a lot of reading stuff that both players need to work on. This is completely bad. Okay, so what I think the problem is first off, both players are getting caught up in the local fighting and not thinking about the rest of the board. You can sacrifice stuff quite often, usually, when your opponent's over-attacking. Additionally, the reading for both players still needs quite a bit of work. So I recommend both players try taking... Actually, let's look at the time here. Let's see, we're at move 120... They have 25 minutes each on their clock. Now I'll go back to move 120. At move... This is 124. At move 120, black has used 10 minutes. White has used... Let's see, what is that? 18 minutes? 15, 16, 17, yeah, 18 minutes. 18 minutes. So for 120 moves, that means for 60 moves, you used 18 minutes. Divide that up. I'm not good at math. Pull out the phone real quick. But when you divide it up, let's see, 18 minutes, let's times that by 60 for 60 seconds, and then divide that by 60 moves. Oh, okay, 60 moves. So you spent, on average, 18 seconds a move. 18 seconds is less than one Bioyomi period. So you're actually spending less time thinking in the middle game here with your clock time than you do in Bioyomi. This means you did not take your time to read things out before you played. You are reading like one or two things, like maybe one or two moves, and then just playing that. You are not reading out the entire situation from the first move. The way to work on this, first, do Go problems. Your reading improves by doing Go problems and practicing. Go problems are really good for learning how to visualize stones and liberties and spot weaknesses. So do Go problems every single day. Also, review pro games. This trains your instincts or your shapes. Reviewing pro games will give you good ideas for certain shapes to play in fights. So definitely need to do that. So life and death, or Go problems in general, and pro games every single day. Then when you play your games, from the first move, as soon as you play a move, or before you play a move, read out what is the result of this area going to be, and how does it affect the rest of the board. It requires quite a bit of time, but as you read more and more and more, you'll speed up and get faster and faster and faster, and your reading becomes more and more accurate. However, the reading in this game is not so accurate, and neither player really sees the result before it even happens. So let's look at the left side. So WildHayate here. It doesn't look like, and you spent 7 seconds reading this. So this means white, you read the cut and said that black can do something here. However, I just played 3 moves, and already I'm not sure if this is going to work for black. I would have to read a little bit more, but I'm spending longer than 7 seconds to do this. Like, you need to spend a lot more than 7 seconds to read if this cut works or doesn't work. If it doesn't work, okay, then read here. That's fine. But right after this, it looks like... Okay, I think I see what you read. I think you played here, and we're seeing this, this, and that's what you read in 7 seconds, and then you decided to play it. But you have to realize your opponent's not going to play what you expect. Your opponent's probably going to see it too. So you play here, okay, well, how does black counter? Well, black counters here. See, did black do this in the game? Black did do this in the game. Okay, actually this works for black, doesn't it? So actually black could even hane here. This seems pretty good. So you see, even me deciding what a good move, what's the best move here for black, this is just one move. It takes longer than 7 seconds. You cannot find a move in 7 seconds. It just doesn't work like that. You have to read much more accurately and spend longer reading it out. And here, once black plays this, it should be obvious that your plan no longer works. However, you spent 8 seconds here playing this, and you still played it out. I'm not sure why you played it out. Are you trying to get the forcing moves? If you're trying to get the forcing moves, then this is the move. However, it looks like you played here and you didn't even get the forcing moves. So I'm not sure what you were reading here. So you can see the reading here is not as accurate as it should be. And I will tell you, as a single-digit Q player, you can't get away with just instincts and basic shapes anymore. The basic questions I tell everyone, is your group weak, is your opponent's group weak, where's the big move? That is good guidelines for finding a move. However, you can only get away with playing that up until around single-digit Q. Once you get to single-digit Q, you still follow those guidelines. However, you have to read things through as well. So it's a step further. You apply an additional step to the basic steps. So, and not only do you say, where's my weak groups, where's my opponent's weak groups, where's the big move, then that just locates the certain area you're supposed to play. Once you find the area, you have to find a specific move, and that requires reading everything out. And then, not just reading one thing, but reading multiple things. You read multiple things out, you find multiple solutions, and you figure out which solution is the best on this board. And that is how you come up with a good move. You read out the entire situation and then figure out, how does this entire situation affect the rest of the board, and is it worth playing? That comes with accurate reading. So you have to read as far as you can. Try and read out the entire situation before the first move. Just do it as far as you can. The more practice you get, the more accurate, the better you'll be able to see it. Then you have to read it accurately, which means seeing your opponent's counters as well. You have to see your own weaknesses while you read and see what will my opponent play to counter it, as well as what your plan is. So you have to come up with the plan, then your opponent's going to try to counter it, and then you have to see, okay, if my opponent tries his best to counter and plays the best move every single move, how is this situation going to end up? Then you'll arrive at a solution, or the expected result. This result you then compare to the rest of the board and visualize it and see how this result affects the rest of the board. Then you compare that result to the result of the other variations that you read, and then from there you figure out which result is the one that's best for this board, and you play the move that leads to that result. It's difficult, it requires a lot of practice and a lot of time to do this. However, it is very important that you do this if you want to improve. You have to read things out. You can't just play with your instincts anymore. So I think that's the biggest key here is from what I'm seeing, or from what I've seen on this game, the top middle reading, the left side reading, the middle reading, all of it is flawed for both players in so many places. You're saving things that you don't need to worry about saving. You're missing things, you're missing weaknesses that should be obvious, and you're playing some strange shapes. To fix this, like I said, do Go problems, review professional games, learn the shapes from professional games, and practice taking your time and reading as much as you can during the game. Read out the entire solution from the first move. Alright, so I think while we didn't finish this game, it looks like that should be the major issues, and I don't want to give White too much to work on. Since I think that's quite important. I think the rest of the game's all going to come back to did you read out a situation? And I think that's just the biggest key here. Seeing your opponent's weaknesses, go problems, and read it through. I think this is all going to come back down to reading. See, this move's an unnecessary moves. So, an example, practice example here is your opponent just peeped, but he's not alive in the corner. So I want to play here. So before I play it, from here, you have 5 minutes on your clock. Or 4 minutes, 48 seconds, almost 5 minutes on your clock. Does S3 work and kill black? So if I play here and black cuts, what's the result? As a single digit Q, you have to start pushing yourself to read this. Read S3. If S3 works, play it. If it doesn't work, then you can fix at Q6. You would fix here. Not here because it gives them potential forcing moves here to connect, so just a little bit better. Anyway, read the entire result here. Then, after this, if you say, okay, this does work, black defends. Okay, so black defends with something here or here. How does what's the result look like now? Can you still push again, or do you have to connect? This is what I mean. This is an entire corner of variations that you need to spend time reading out before you even consider before you connect. Before you just connect, see if you can push your opponent more and gain a few more points and take that bit of territory. That is how you get the one up on your opponent. If you just play here and black fixes here, then you can see this is about a 6 to 8 point difference. However, if you play here and you get it for free and black has to fix, and let's say you get one more and you get all this, right? Then you fix. You can see the difference is about 10 to 12 points. Because you were reading, you were able to gain 10 to 12 points on your opponent. This is a huge difference. And this is what I mean by you have to read things through and you have to not miss these little weaknesses and see if it's worth taking advantage of. If it's not, then you can just fix, that's fine, but you have to try. You have to read it out in your head. And then you have to see the whole solution in your mind before you even play this first move. So that's what I mean by reading things out. It's difficult, it takes time, and it requires a lot of practice in order to get it accurate and efficient. However, this is what you really need to work on if you want to improve to the higher single-digit Q levels and start pushing the Don levels. Because the 7Q is now aiming at simplifying his reading, making his reading accurate, and then after 5Q, you start working on the best shapes, attack and defense shapes, counting how valuable each and every single move is worth, and then from there taking it a step further to count, okay, I played this way, what's the result, what's the value, what's the score value, or if I played this way, what's the score value, comparing the result by points and territory. And once you're able to do that, you can start finding even more accurate moves and playing a little bit faster, and then you'll push yourself into the Don ranks. Because 7Qs, I mean, you're pushing to the steps right before Don. And if you want to get to that Don level, you can't be slacking off and not pushing your reading as far as you can. So you're getting to the steps, you're maybe 2 steps behind the Don levels. So 7Q, I mean, you're 7 ranks away, so there's still quite a lot to work on. But in theory, the next step is about 5Q to 4Q, and then 2Q to 1Q. I think in the next 2 barriers, 2Q is a much bigger barrier than 4Q, I believe. So you're only a couple steps away from hitting that Don level rank, that Don level skill. If you want to get there, you're going to have to push your game much harder. Alright, so this was actually quite an interesting game. I kind of emphasized a lot more points in this game than I normally do in a video. due to the fact that I think many players at this level have to work on the exact same stuff I went over in this game. I think every 8Q and 7Q that I've seen so far, and even some 6Qs, have pretty similar mistakes. You're not reading things through, you're not taking your time, and your shapes and reading in Life and Death needs work. So fix all that stuff by studying and practicing. That's what you got to do. Yep, Mr. Chance. Black connected because you misread. So how big is this? So this is about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. So this is about a 30-point plus corner. Is this worth spending more than 30 seconds reading? I think so. This is 30 points. I would spend a lot longer than 30 seconds double checking that he's dead. But to miss this connection, it could cost you the game, all because you didn't take your time. So you can see the biggest issues are basically what I pointed out. All right, so let's look at the results. White wins by 4.5 points. So White still won, but it's only by 4.5. It should have been a decisive victory after that bottom right corner died. However, with a little misread, he lost about 15 to 20 points. So you can see that there's a lot of stuff you can do better in this game if you just take your time and read things through and read it accurately. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope other people enjoyed this as well. I hope a lot of people are able to learn from this. And yeah, so this was a sponsored game review. This means that WildHayate actually donated money on my Patreon to help support me as a Go instructor. And my Patreon has rewards for those who support me, and this is a reward where you get games reviewed, guaranteed. This is kind of my little thank you for those of you who support me as a Go instructor. This is kind of my income. So as a thank you, I give out little rewards like this where I go over your games and give you stuff to work on. And sometimes I even give live lessons depending on the amount. But yeah, if you would like to see more about the rewards for donations, then please see the link in the description below and check out my Patreon and see if you're interested in donating to get rewards for you. Anyway, thanks to White for supporting me and helping me out. I hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you found it helpful. And thanks to everyone who has ever supported me or is thinking of supporting me in the future. It's a huge help, and you kind of pay for my food. So thanks for that, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Until then, bye-bye.